listening to the sound of the bowl, the beautiful symphony of the birds, and you can smell the beautiful fresh greenery of the air. These qualities of nature nourish us and feed us. And that's what today's evolutionary flow sequence is all about. Slowing down enough to experience the nourishment of nature that's around us and inside of us in every moment. So I want to really thank you for joining us today. I welcome you, and I really appreciate your taking the time out of your busy day to join us. But I think you'll be glad that you did, because today we're going to focus on what's called Yin Yoga. You may have heard of that. Some people call it restorative yoga, which it's like, but it's really not that. Some people call it just stretch, and it is, but it's really not that. Because Yin Yoga comes from the quality of receptive, feminine, divine mother energies, the nourishing and nurturing and the fueling energies of nature herself. And in Chinese philosophy, it is said that the yin, representing the feminine, and the yang, which is the fiery masculine, together form a complementarity and form an interconnected wholeness. So much of yoga is taught around a kind of achievement orientation. And today in Yin Yoga, we're going to really calm down and cool down a really important time in our lives right now to calm enough that we can reverse the trends of stress that are apparent in the pandemic that we are going through. And I know many people have experienced loss and grief and anger as our lifestyles have changed, our relationships have changed. Many of us have lost those we loved. We've lost jobs, and this can feel really terrible. But I want to affirm to you that through the practice together, we can take whatever the universe gives us and transform it by combining it with its opposite. So just as yin and yang come together to create a whole, so our experiences of the dark emotions, the grief, the rage, the despair, the depression, can be enhanced and coaxed into a higher love and a higher mind by our specific and very precise practice of Yin Yoga. So because there's so much stress in our world today, our kidneys and our gallbladders are particularly stressed. So we're going to focus today on stretching out and reigniting the wonderful flow patterns of the liver and the gallbladder. We're also going to clear the mind, because the clarifying quality of Yin Yoga allows us to think more clearly, make decisions better, and to have the energy to actually follow through with decisions that we make. So today's clarifying practice will begin simply with Kapalabhati. And I believe that you may have done this before. Kapalabhati means skull shining. And we activate this skull shining with a kriya or action. Don't be afraid of the Sanskrit words. They're very simple. Kriya just means action. And it's a cleansing action of the nadis that works very quickly to bring us into the present moment. So let's take the hands and place the hands on the lower belly. And we're going to inhale through both nostrils and focus on the out breath by drawing the belly in. And then inhale, and the hands expand with the belly. Inhale again. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. Very slowly at first, just feeling that breath moving in and out, and then we'll slowly speed it up. Come along with me now. Speed it up just as much as feels comfortable to you. So the inhale and exhale are about the same length, but we're focused more on the exhale and drawing the navel and belly in. If the ribs start to feel a little tight, just move the breath around a little bit so you can feel more openness in the lungs and the ribs. And focus the energy up to the skull as though you're shining up the skull. Let's take a deep breath in. Deeper. Let the eye gaze float up to the third eye. Bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth, behind the hard palate onto the soft palate. Pause. 3, 2, 1, and exhale through the mouth. Feel the vitalizing energy, the tingling in the fingers and toes and through the whole body. So that's Kapalabhati. But I'd like to do Kapalabhati now with a movement of the arms drawing backwards. And so when I bring my arms back, I'm going to turn to the side here a little bit so you can see how that arm and the shoulder is functioning. So I bring my arms back, opening the chest at the collarbone, broadening the collarbone, and lifting the collarbone a little bit, bringing the arms straight back. So my arms look straight, almost, but notice how I can straighten them more by lengthening through the elbows. Notice how when I spread my palms and my fingers, I get even more of a stretch. And then when I squeeze my shoulder blades together, activating the rhomboids, and draw the upper arm bones out and reach down, I really feel an opening in the chest and the heart. And we're going to do Kapalabhati here. So thumbs up, little fingers rolling down and forward, thumbs rolling back. Kapalabhati, letting the chest expand with every in-breath and the belly draws back with every out-breath. Pause, inhale, and bring the hands back further. Lift the collarbones up. You can put a little weight on the hands, not much, because I'm really focused on that little back bend there. Lift the chin up, and then push the hands off. Come forward, keep the chin up. Lengthen through the neck, and just bring the chin down into the front of the throat. So notice how I'm lengthening the back of the neck, and I'm drawing the chin in, activating what's called Jalandhara Bandha in the throat. There are 3 bandhas in the body: Mula Bandha in the pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha between the navel and the solar plexus, and then Jalandhara in the throat. And we'll focus on this one a little bit more because that activates the other bandhas. So let the head just release down and feel the stretch in the back of the neck. Walk the hands back a little bit more. And let's inhale, stretch the front ribs again. Squeeze the shoulder blades in and down, and then bring those shoulder blades forward so you're pressing into the back of the heart, helping you to open in a little back bend even more. Soften the jaws, and then gently come back forward. Very nice. So that's a little taste of the Yin Yoga practice. So we go slow, we focus on the details, and we allow ourselves to be very still at moments. So I'd like to invite you to lay down on your back, bring your hands behind your thighs and roll back 1 vertebrae at a time. Let the arms release, let the legs release, and then lift that right leg and stretch it out long. Stretch the heel out and then stretch the toe out. Lift the left leg, reach the heel and then the toe. Lift the right arm, reach it. Let the shoulder blade draw down. Left arm, reach it. Let the shoulder blade draw down. Lift the chin into the chest and lengthen the neck. And let your body completely go. So this is our first Yin Yoga posture. It's called Shavasana. And it's about being very still and allowing the breath to move through the body. Relax the jaws, the eye sockets, the cheeks. Relax the ears, outer ears and inner eustachian tubes. Feel the heaviness of the head back into the earth. And let the breath move naturally as you allow the stillness of nature to come into your heart. Relax another level. Deliberately relax another level. Feel that receptive quality of the breeze moving through the trees' leaves. Be like a leaf that's moved by that gentle wind. And then with that same sense of relaxation, let's bring the right foot up and then the next one. And then just bring your knees in toward the chest. Place your hands on the tops of the knees, and you can separate your knees out a little bit. When we do this, the inner thighs, where the inner meridian is, those areas are stretched. And so when you draw the knees in, letting the elbows come down to the ground, you may find at first that your edge is too far for your comfort. So if that's true, and that's true for me right now, I'm going to bring the knees in a little bit more, and I can bring, once the knees are closer together, I can draw them in toward my shoulders. My arms are heavy and drawing the knees in, and I can completely relax. So this is our second Yin Yoga posture. So just stay in this position, become very still. Listen for the internal sensations, emotions, vibrations, thoughts, and let them all float through the body and the mind, like a little cloud on a great, huge blue sky. Pema Chodron says, "We are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. So let yourself be the blue sky." You may notice in this posture that the knees start to slowly sink in a little bit more toward the earth and the lower back opens. And that's what happens in Yin Yoga. You have a progressive, very slow opening of the tissues as the fascia or connective tissue unwinds, and you can feel a deeper release in the muscles and ligaments and tendons, as well as the blood vessels and meridians. You may notice also that this posture, you can stay here if you want. This is good for the knees. But another way to do that posture is as child's pose. So notice how that's the same posture. Child's pose, and that knees to the chest pose. But some people don't like the child's pose because it's hard on the knees. So whichever way you like it, where it feels most comfortable, that's the key to Yin Yoga, to find the way that feels the most nourishing and the most comfortable. Deeply inhale, and notice how my knees are a couple of inches deeper into the ground now. And then just gently bring the inner knees together and move the knees in little circles so you can massage the sacrum on the earth. And then massage the sacrum the other way, keeping the bones resting heavily in the ground. And then just bring the legs into a right angle and let both knees come over here to the left, toward the ground. You can place your left hand on the outer right knee and extend the right arm away from you and turn and look at that right hand. Now, if that is not available to you, bringing the knees all the way down, or if that doesn't feel good, you can bring a bolster and place the knees on a bolster. That may feel better. Or if you don't have a bolster, you may have a pillow at home, and you can just get a pillow and place like this. And feel that deep twisting in the spine. The outside of the leg is infused by the liver meridian. And so when you're in this posture, you can feel the liver actually breathing more easily, opening more easily, and all of the issues associated with the liver are unwinding. The liver is responsible for distributing the blood throughout the body and for maintaining energy through the entire body and feeding all the organs and tissues. And when it's out of balance, you may feel a lot of frustration and anger. Yin Yoga helps us to just calmly open and unwind any unhealthy tension. Let go. Breathing deeply into the belly and the chest and the head, the arms and legs. Find your center. Once you feel you've completely relaxed in the posture, you can bring the knees up, using your hands to help the knees up. When you're in a posture and holding for that long, you want to be careful and give yourself some support when you're moving. And so I'm just going to move my hips a little bit to the left, bring the knees back up into the right angle. Move my prop if I want to have something underneath the knees, and gently bring the knees over. Feeling that stretch in the side of the waist and the back. You can place the right hand on the outer left knee. Reach the arm away from the chest and turn and look at the palm of the left hand. Relax the shoulders. Relax the hips and the lower back. Listen to what the organs have to tell you. So the liver especially carries the emotions of anger and frustration, aggravation, emotions that are quite rampant in our world today. So by calming the liver meridian, we help to prevent our own inflammation and also to heal the world of its inflamed reactions. Relax the back of the head and lengthen the neck. Let the breath permeate all 70 trillion cells. Relax the forehead and the brain, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. Relax the right hip into the ground, the left hip into the right hip, and let both shoulders melt into the earth. Turn your nose toward that left hand. Find the sweet spots. Don't forget to breathe. And you feel a complete relaxation. And I think we can all relax another level. Through the stillness, we find that nature unwinds that which we no longer need. So when you're ready to move with your hand, give your legs a little support there. Bring them back up and bring the knees into the chest several times. Exhale, massaging the tailbone to the back of the waist on the ground. And then when you press the knees into the hands, you're massaging from the back of the waist to the tailbone. Exhale, lift the tailbone and massage up to the back of the waist. Squeezing the knees in. And then press the knees into the hands. And go ahead and let your chin come into your chest and stretch the back of the neck. That feels so good. That feels so wonderful. Let's bring the knees back in, roll over onto the left, and let's bring ourselves up. Come to the front of the mat. And let's line the front leg being the left leg so that it's parallel to the front of the mat, and then bring your right leg on top of it so you have the two lower legs like two logs on a fire. And with these legs open like this, you want to be very careful of the knees. This is called Agnyasana. Agni means fire, and this is the fire log pose. And so from here we can come into a very nice Yin Yoga pose by bringing the hands to the side and lifting the collarbones up, pressing the sitting bones down, open the heart, and the chin is probably going to want to lift up, but we're not going to do that. We're going to draw the chin in and lengthen the back of the neck and stretch from the tailbone reaching down to the crown of the head reaching up. Flex the feet if you can. Inhale. Now, if this is too much on your knees, you can bring a block under, both of them. But if this is okay, go ahead and straighten yourself up. Be sure that it's doable. You want to be at your edge, but no further. So find your edge, sit up straight, and let's slowly begin to walk forward. And notice how I'm not rushing anything. Most of our modern world is about achievement and about trying to be better than other people. And Yin Yoga teaches us that the equanimity and contentment of just our breath, just our connection to nature, just our sense of being in a forgiving and giving body on a giving and forgiving earth is enough. So let your chin now release completely down and stretch the back of the neck. Let the shoulders relax. And slowly come into the posture. Now, if this is giving you problems, I'm going to tell you what you can do as an alternative. If this is fine, go ahead and let the head be heavy and let yourself just slowly melt down. Your head may even come all the way to the ground. So just stay there. If you're having trouble that is in the middle back, or if you have a slipped disc, or if you have problems in the discs, let your spine stay straight. We don't want to be curving over if there are spinal issues there. We also may find that we're better by bringing the forehead to a block like this. And that can be quite nourishing to the whole neck and the whole spinal area. And that may not even be accessible. You may find that you can put a chair here and bring your forehead onto a chair. Or if you have a bolster like this, you can bring the bolster up and bring your forehead on the bolster. And just let your arms rest. Or rest palms up. Soften the jaws. Wherever you are, if you're all the way down or in one of these modifications. The idea here to enter deeply into the body with your attention, bringing 100% of your focus on interoception. That's your internal experience, without judgment, without the incessant thoughts, extraneous thoughts, or if you have extraneous thoughts, they enter and leave, and you keep coming back to the breath. Just experience your awareness, your subtle being. Where the forehead is touching the bolster or your block, there is a point known as the gallbladder point, and that helps to clear the lines of energy that support the gallbladder. The gallbladder is responsible for taking the energy of the liver and distributing it through the body. It takes the bile from the liver and moves it through the digestive process so that those nutrients can feed the cells. So breathing into the organs, we nourish those organic processes. If you're having difficulty making decisions or feeling motivated to follow through with decisions, could be because the gallbladder is out of balance. Other issues that come from a disturbed gallbladder are insomnia, issues with metabolism, and feeling galled, feeling like you just can't get over a resentment. So we're letting all of that go today in our Yin Yoga practice. So from here, just close the eyes and just sit for a moment and just notice what has happened. Be easy with yourself. And from here, we're going to do a very juicy Sphinx pose. So I'm going to invite you to come on your stomach. And what we want to do in Sphinx is bring the elbows right underneath the shoulders, lengthen the forearms so that they are parallel, and lengthen the palms and the fingers here. And first just notice where you're at, and then let's do some details. So bring your left toe into the earth, press it into the earth, lift that leg off the ground, and then reach the heel back, plant your hip on the ground, and then point the toe. And you'll notice you've got more room in the hip now. Just come to the right side and do that. The right toe is under. Lift the left leg, lengthen the heel back, and then plant the leg and the hip on the ground and point. You'll notice a much deeper opening in the hip sockets. And then let's press the forearms into the ground, broaden the collarbones and lift the collarbones here. Press the wrists, the palms, and the fingers into the ground, especially the thumb and the index finger. Press those into the ground. And your head may feel a little constricted up here. So let's do a couple of things. Broaden the collarbones and let the chin relax down. So I'm getting a deep stretch in the back of the neck. And let's start here as our first Sphinx Yin Yoga position. Inhale. Breathing into the back of the neck, opening up the side neck. Feel the belly being massaged by the earth with every breath. If that is challenging in the shoulders, press the elbows in the ground and broaden the upper arms apart. That will give you more space in the shoulder sockets. And that will help you release the chin even more. It should feel really wonderful on the back of the neck. Soften the jaws. Inhale, slowly float the chin up. So I'm stretching from my pubic bone to the chin. Draw the pubic bone toward the ground, and then tip it up toward the navel. And then let a line of energy come all the way from the pubic bone to the navel, to the heart, to the chin. Check to see that you're not contracting or stressing out the neck. You want to feel a nice clean lift, keeping that neck nice and open as you lift up, broaden the collarbones, lift those collarbones again, and then gently exhale, keep the length in the neck as you bring the chin down. And breathe. The eyes are closed. You can pay more attention to the internal world. And if you're attentive to the internal world, you soon find a deep sense of peace as you come closer and closer to your real self. Lift the chin again and lengthen through the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders back. Let your tongue float up toward the roof of the mouth and back to the soft palate. Feel the palate lifting, feel the crown of the head lifting. And just be still. Feel what's happening. We're not trying to move to a new place. We're not trying to transform anything. Because that's not what yoga does. What yoga does is creates the conditions for the natural transformation to happen. So we're setting up the conditions of enlightenment, the conditions of luminosity and joy. You'll notice a little smile emerges on the face and the lips because it feels so delicious as the brain relaxes. The prefrontal cortex relaxes. And the limbic system opens up, feels restored. And then gently let your head come back down. Gently. Release all the organs of the torso. And then let's press the hands into the ground, walk back up a little bit, and see what it feels like to have straight arms. So that's not going to be right for everybody. You may want to come back down. But if you're fine with them straight, go ahead and give that a go. Inhale. Press the toes in the ground. Notice when the toenails press down, the abdominals lift. Nice deep breathing. Find your edge. This doesn't need to hurt. If it's hurting, it's not yoga. Because prana cannot move through the places in the body where there's pain. So we want to move toward the pleasure. It's like Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. Reach the toes, stretch the toes long, reach the fingers, stretch the fingernails long. Close the eyes and let yourself be at peace. And let yourself come down gently. Let's take the hands and just massage above the mastoids here a little bit. So if any tension developed, this is a good way to release it. And then gently bring the hands under the shoulders, lift up through the cobra, and draw yourself back for child's pose. Let the forward release down. Breathing into the kidneys, the inner legs and outer legs. Draw the tailbone down and gently bring yourself up to sitting on your heels. And then come up from your heels so that you're kneeling. Lift the arms up just arch yourself back. And once again, the chin may want to lift way up. But what we're doing is we're bringing the chin in and stretching the back of the neck and then lifting the chest to bring ourselves over. Lifting the heart. So letting the lotus in the heart blossom. Press the shins to the ground, tailbone down, lift the navel up. And then gently bring your arms down, slowly, and bring your forehead down. Take a nice deep breath, inhale, and exhale, release. Inhale, lifting up to table, plant the hands, toes under. Let's come into a downward facing dog pose. And downward facing dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana, can be a Yin Yoga practice too. You can stay in this pose, resting in your bones for many minutes. We're not going to right now. We're going to lift the heels so we get a nice stretch in the legs. Bring your chest and your head down toward the ground. And keep up on your tippy toes and walk your pelvis forward until your hands come closer and your feet come closer. And then let the heels come down and walk the hands back. If you bend the knees, that's fine too. And walk the hands back. So we bring our nose toward the knees. Once again, stretching the back of the neck, lengthening, and let the chin come in toward the front of the throat. Inhale, let's lift up just halfway. Exhale, place the hands on the waist. And inhale, let's lift up the rest of the way. Take a nice deep breath in. And feel the balance between the two sides of the body in Tadasana. Tadasana is mountain pose. And we're exploring the body as we would explore a mountain. So we're looking inside for the deep roots in the earth, the veins of metal and rock and gemstone. We're looking for the qualities of nature's caves, the pools and the streams of fresh water. And as you press the heels in and lift the kneecaps up, we elongate the legs and feel that rootedness of the mountain down into the earth, pressing the legs into the earth. And tailbone reaches down into the earth, but the pubic bone and the ribs lift up. So I'm getting more space in the waist by lifting the ribs. Bringing the hip points together a little bit. Broadening the collarbones and releasing the arms down. And lengthen the arms down. From the shoulders, through the elbows, through the wrists, through the palms and fingers. Let's bring the hands into Anjali Mudra here. And we're going to do a little sequence. It's a Yin Yoga sequence. It'll be a little bit quicker, but this will give you 3 really beautiful poses to complete our practice. Let the hands come down. And inhale. And exhale. Looking down at the tip of the nose. I'm going to get a block here. If you want to have a block, that's a good idea. What I wanted to point out here is you keep the thumbs in the edge of the vision as you're lifting up, using your drishti, your eye gaze. And then exhale, lengthen the back of the neck, chin comes in, and I'm coming down halfway, and I can come all the way if I want, or I might want a block. I might want 2 blocks to support my movement here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my balance here and then slowly lift the left leg. I'm mirroring you. Lifting the left leg straight up. And if you can, you want to make a straight line between the head and the foot. Coming through the hip. And then bend that left knee and bring it in to the ground on the outside of that right foot. And keep that block handy. And bring the hands to the side and sit up. Arrange your legs so that they feel comfortable. Arrange your buttocks so that feels comfortable. And gently bring your left ear toward the left shoulder and come onto the forearm here. Float this right arm up. Draw your chin back, draw your navel back, and come in for a rest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, relax. Letting that left ear come toward the ground. Inhale. And exhale. So in Yin Yoga, you could stay there for 5 minutes. And we're going to move on, knowing that you can stop the video and pause and stay for 5 minutes if you want. But if you're short for time and just want to move through, like we are, that's a good way to do this sequence too. Let's bend the top arm, place it behind the neck, press the head into the hand and head into the neck, and gently stretch open and look up to the sky, most gently. Releasing the neck, releasing the sides of the waist. Inhale, float up. And then take this top leg and extend it straight out and bring your left foot to the inner thigh. So we're in Janu Shirsasana, which is Janu is knee, Shirsa is head. So I'm going to bring the head to the knee. And to make this work optimally, I'm going to have some blocks handy here. Now, if this is too hard for you to open up the back of the leg, because sometimes tight hamstrings will make this difficult, you can sit on your pillow or bolster. Face the leg and gently walk your fingertips forward. And notice how I'm keeping my spine straight and lengthening, and then I keep the spine straight and come over a little bit more. As soon as I start to bend, I straighten again. Exhale, coming forward. When it starts to bend, I straighten again. So I inch my way forward, finding my edge in each moment, and slowly coming forward. The blocks can really help because they give you support under the hands so that you can get more length in the arms. Let your nose come down toward that right knee. Inhale. And exhale. So again, if you have blood pressure issues that are untreated, if you're pregnant, or if you have spinal issues like slipped discs, you want to be very careful with this. And consult a qualified yoga teacher or your doctor before doing this kind of movement. And let your nose draw all the way down. Again, you can stay here for 5 minutes. Or you can roll up now. Bring the blocks to the side. And then bring your right elbow to the leg. And then just place your head on the hand. Slide this left arm up and twist toward the sky. Reaching way up and over toward that right toe, or just reaching out. And if the elbow comes down, you can release the arm down. Take hold of the big toe and gently release. Inhale. Into the relaxed position that feels good to you. This extension may not feel good to you. It feels good to me. You may be here, you may be here, and you can bring that upper arm back and put it behind the waist, and the top of the hand behind the waist, and this feels so delicious. To lift your chest up and feel that stretch from the left hip to the crown of the head. Lifting up. Again, you can stay as long as you want in any of these poses. It's good. And then come over to the left hip, letting this top leg come back, and there you are in a nice posture ready for an undulation. Bringing your collarbones forward, shoulder blades together, down the back, long neck. And then gently exhale. Draw your abdominals in and undulate to the crown of the head. Then lift in the lower spine and undulate up. So I'm sequencing through the spine like a string of pearls. Tailbone, sacrum, lumbar spine, thoracic spine to the cervical and the head. And then I'm lifting the same way. Tailbone, sacrum, thoracic, cervical, and up. Just several times or more. You can stop the video and do this several more times. If you want to come to rest in Yin Yoga, you can just bring yourself down and rest here. As long as you want. But we're going to go on here and bring that leg over the knee. Bring your left hand around and take a nice deep twist. Yummy, 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 yummy. When you inhale, lengthen the spine. When you exhale, draw the chin in, and notice how that draws the navel in and helps lift the lower bandhas, Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. And then unwind. Let's bring the leg back around. Lift yourself up. Come back to downward facing dog pose. Lift the heels and let's again walk forward. And there you are. Shake your head yes, shake it no. And let's lift up, flat back. Bring the arms up. And bring the hands down the center, drawing the beauty and light of the heavens into your heart. And then release down, and we're going for the opposite side here, lifting the arms up. Exhale, let's extend flat back down. Be sure that your block is there if you need it, no worries. Let the head release down and bringing the nose toward the knees. Check yourself first that you have the balance, and then lift that right leg up. Lengthen from your navel to the collarbones to the head. And then slide that right knee to the outside of the left foot and bring yourself down. And there you are in a modified Marichiasana. And then if you want to have the block there, you can. Lift your left arm up and extend over toward the front. Inhale, stretch or yawn the left side of the body. And then plant your left sitting bone into the ground. Bring your opposite arm to the top. Place the hand in the back of the neck and press the head into the hand. And twist your spine and neck a little bit, lifting up through that top elbow. And then gently lift up. And then let's bring this left leg out. Place the right foot in the inner thigh. Set yourself up here with your blocks. Or you can use the pillows here if that's what you have at home, or nothing. Those are optional. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Point the toes to the sky and press that long leg down into the ground. Press the bent knee into the ground and lift up through your core. Lift up through your collarbones. Draw the chin in and keep lifting the heart. And move from your heart now. Move from your heart to come back. Inhale. Lengthen and straighten. And then as you come down, stay as straight as you can. And when it bends, then straighten again. And move in little baby steps to the point where you feel really juicy. Now you want to take your hands to the feet. Draw your elbows out a little bit so that stretches the underarms. And bring your nose toward the neck. Inhale. And exhale. Roll the spine up. And let's bring the left hand to the left ear. Let the head be heavy. Feeling that twisting action in the torso. Just lift the arm all the way up. And if you want, you can bring the elbow down or stay where you were. Take the thumb around the big toe if you want and reach as far over as you can. If you want to take the foot, you can. Or you can just reach, keeping that rib cage open and twisted toward the sky. Breathing into the new spaces opening up in the lungs and the heart and all the organs. Let the top arm lift and bring the top of the hand to the back of the waist. And go ahead and tilt your rib cage up, looking up. And feel the sweetness in the heart area and how that feeds the lower belly with nourishment. A soft heart and an open mind create an enormous difference in our being and our personal lives, but also in the state of the world. Because when we have peace inside, we're a center of peace and well-being that spreads out into the world. So let's just bring the foot over for our final posture and wrap the right arm around the knee and twist, planting that foot on the ground, the left foot on the ground. Draw the right foot in toward the left hip. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, float the collarbone. Notice how that hollows the belly automatically. And then very gently release back around and unwind. Let's bring the feet forward. Plant your hands back, and let's just do a little windshield wiper here to loosen up the hips and be sure there's no tension. And you can do that last section just as slow as you want. You can look at it again and stay in the poses longer. I know that Yin Yoga classes seem to take a long time, but I'm imagining you'll look at the clock and you'll say, I can't believe how fast that went. And that's because our souls are longing for us. Rolling down easily. Our souls are longing for us to slow down enough to let the good things catch up with us. And Yin Yoga is a perfect practice for restoring the body's natural intelligence. So roll completely down, extend the arms one at a time, press your feet in the ground, let's lift the chest and just come into a very easy palms down bridge pose, lifting the pelvis up, lengthen the neck. Press the shoulders into the ground so you feel a release in the upper back. And then roll down one vertebrae at a time. Just lengthen the right leg, lengthen the left leg, open the arms, open the legs, and let yourself completely relax. And feel the stillness of your soul. Feel the natural comfort that permeates every cell, all the skin, all the fluids, the cerebrospinal fluid, the blood, the synovial fluid, all of it moving with more prana, more life, more of the sweetness of spirit. Let go another level. Let the whole body release into the earth. And feel the embrace of Mother Earth. Feel yourself in the womb of the Great Mother, being nurtured. want a longer shavasana and meditation appropriate for this class, roll over onto the right. You can watch the next videotape, specifically the meditation on the mental kosha, the wisdom kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha. And it should be set right after this. But if you're done for now, let's bring the index fingers and the thumbs together. Close the eyes. Enjoy the stillness. Just bring the hands over the chest. And with the lightest of touch, bring the arms up and touch above the head, and bring the heavenly energies down from the sky into the heart, into the earth, and bring those primordial energies up into the sky as we offer all of our good deeds to the world. And as we gather up all that is difficult and challenging and shower it with the light of our practice. Bring the thumbs to the heart, bring the chin down toward the collarbones, lengthen the back of the neck. And we ask that all beings share in the merit of our practice, so that whatever goodness accumulates from our discipline to help people that are in need, people who are ill, refugees, those without jobs or living in poverty, may they all be well, and may they all experience the well-being, knowing that as we develop our own well-being and peace of mind, we are able to help them more and more. So with a gentle bow of namaste, let's give thanks to all the teachers of yoga. Bring the hands back to the knees into the mudra of the teacher. And please join us again for Evolutionary Yoga Flow. Namaste. Aloha, this is Marya. Thank you for joining us. And if you've enjoyed this video, there's a way that you can feel even better than you do right now, and that's by sharing the good word with others so that they can learn about the power of Evolutionary Yoga Flow. And while you're at it, make the comment and then subscribe so that when we come up with new videos, new online courses, we have one going now in soul medicine, other yoga classes, and short tutorials in movement medicine that you can use to help care for yourself in a deep and a healing way. Please subscribe and you'll be the first to know about those new programs. Also, you can go to www.maryaman.com and learn more about quantum creativity, about healing, about how we can heal ourselves, heal each other, and heal our glorious planet. So we really enjoyed you being here. Namaste.